The scariest thing about an EMP isn't no power. It's how fast people go from confident to confused when every normal tool stops answering. No updates, no directions, no quick call, just a lot of guessing, and guessing gets expensive fast. And to be clear, I'm not trying to sell you a movie plot here. Most outages are boring and temporary, but an EMP is one of those scenarios where the problem isn't just the lights going out. It's the electronics that quietly run everything. The payments, the logistics, the communication, the control systems, taking a hit all at once. If enough of that fails, life doesn't end, but it gets primitive in a hurry. So when I think about EMP-proof gear, I'm not thinking about fancy gadgets. I'm thinking about capabilities. Can you get clean water? Can you cook? Can you see at night? Can you repair things? Can you communicate even a little? Can you move with purpose instead of wandering? If you can keep those core skills alive, you're not helpless, even if the world is loud and chaotic for a while. All right, let's talk through 12 items that keep working when the usual stuff doesn't. I'm mixing the order on purpose because the real point isn't the ranking. It's building a stack of options that don't all fail the same way. 1. A manual water filter with no electronics. If you take one thing seriously, take water seriously. People can limp along without food longer than they think, but dehydration and contaminated water will wreck you fast. And once municipal pumps and treatment systems start failing, clean tap water is not something you want to assume. A good manual filter gives you a way to take questionable water and turn it into something you can drink without rolling the dice. I'm talking about the mechanical kinds that use membranes or gravity, not UV pins or electric purifiers. Those electronic tools can be useful in normal emergencies, but if you're planning for electronics failure, you want the simplest system possible. Here's what matters in real life. Have a way to collect water, like a bucket, a container, even a clean pot. Pre-filter dirty water through cloth if it's muddy. Use the filter the way it's designed and keep it from freezing if you've already used it, because freezing can damage some filters. And have a backup method like boiling when you can, because redundancy is what saves you when one plan gets messy. 2. A propane or kerosene stove, plus a grown-up attitude about safety. When the grid dies, most kitchens die with it. People don't realize how much cooking depends on electricity until it's gone. Suddenly that pantry starts looking less useful because you can't boil, can't heat, can't sanitize, can't do much of anything after dark. A small camping stove changes that. It lets you boil water, heat food, and keep some warmth moving through your routine. Propane is convenient and common. Kerosene stores well and burns long, but it's dirtier and you need to know what you're doing. And I'm going to say this plainly because it matters. Fire indoors is not a hobby. Ventilation matters. Carbon monoxide is a real threat. If you're using any combustion appliance inside, you need airflow. You need to keep it away from flammables, and you should have a working CO detector in normal times. In a crisis, the goal is to stay alive, not prove you're tough. 3. A Faraday cage or Faraday bags, because protection is what makes the electronics part of your plan real. This is the unsexy item that ties everything together. People buy radios, solar chargers, power banks, flashlights, then leave them sitting on a shelf. If you're worried about EMP specifically, the gear isn't the plan. Protecting the gear is the plan. A Faraday setup can be simple. A metal ammo can, a steel trash can with a tight-fitting lid, a metal filing cabinet. The key is that your devices can't touch the metal directly, so you line the inside with cardboard, foam, rubber mat, something insulating. Think of it like making a protective nest inside a metal shell. Faraday bags and pouches are the portable version, great for small devices and spare parts. Radios, backup phone, charging controllers, spare flashlight, extra batteries, even a vehicle key fob if you want to keep that from being a surprise problem. One more thing people miss. Test your storage setup in calm times. Keep it organized, labeled, and easy to open. A Faraday container that's a junk drawer you never check is basically a placebo. 4. Hand tools that don't care about batteries. When power tools stop working, the people who can still cut, fix, and build by hand are the people who stay ahead. That's not macho talk, it's just physics. A dead drill is a dead drill. You don't need a giant workshop. You need a reliable core kit. Hammer, handsaw, screwdrivers, pliers, adjustable wrench, a small pry bar, a sharpening stone, fasteners, nails, screws, wire, duct tape, cordage, a good manual can opener because yes, that becomes a big deal. What makes hand tools EMP-proof is simple. They don't require a system. They require you. Keep them dry, lightly oiled, and stored where you can find them without turning the room upside down. Rust is the slow disaster that ruins good gear. 5. A hand crank radio. In a scenario where communication is messy, information becomes its own kind of resource. You don't need rumors. You need signal. Weather alerts, emergency broadcasts, local updates if they exist. Even knowing what's not being said can help you make better decisions. A hand crank radio is great because it doesn't ask you for batteries at the exact moment batteries become gold. You crank, you listen. That's it. Look for one that can pick up NOAA alerts and has AM and FM. Shortwave can be useful, but only if you're willing to learn it a bit. A built-in flashlight is handy, and a USB output can sometimes top off small devices, but don't bet your whole plan on that. Think of the USB feature like a bonus, not the reason you bought it. If you're serious about EMP concerns, store it protected in a Faraday pouch or insulated metal container. Also, check it once in a while. The time to discover a broken crank handle is not during the emergency. 6. An analog compass and paper maps. When GPS dies, people get lost in places they've driven 100 times. Not because they're dumb, but because we've outsourced direction to screens. We stopped building the mental map. A compass and paper maps give you direction without satellites, cell towers, or apps. Get maps of your local area and the routes you'd realistically use. Mark water sources, medical locations, and alternate paths that avoid obvious choke points. And practice once when life is normal. Learn how to take a bearing. Learn what declination is in your area. You don't want your first lesson in navigation happening when you're tired, stressed, and the sky looks wrong. 7. Cash, and maybe a little silver, but don't get romantic about it. If payment systems go down, cash becomes useful again fast, at least early on when people are trying to solve problems quickly. The trick is small bills, ones, fives, tens. If you only have big bills, you're going to have a hard time making simple trades without getting burned. Some people keep silver because it's tangible and historically valued. If you do, keep it practical, small, recognizable. But here's the honest truth. In the first phase of any serious disruption, useful goods often trade better than shiny ones. Water purification, fuel, hygiene, medical basics, batteries, warm clothing, tools, stuff that solves today's problem. So yes, keep some cash. If you want some silver, fine. But don't let the currency part distract you from the needs part. 8. A mechanical wristwatch. This is one of those items that sounds minor until you're living without the digital scaffolding. Timekeeping keeps people coordinated. It keeps routines stable. It helps you plan daylight, rotate tasks, meet up, and avoid the slow mental drift that happens when every day turns into one long blur. A mechanical watch doesn't need charging and doesn't depend on a network. It just ticks. Automatic or manual wind both work. The key is durability and simplicity. Even if you're not worried about EMP at all, a mechanical watch is still a solid preparedness tool because it removes one more dependency from your day. 9. Oil lamps and candles, plus a realistic plan for light. Darkness changes behavior. It makes everything harder, and it makes people more anxious than they admit. Light is not just convenience, it's morale, safety, and productivity. Candles are an easy backup, but they're also open flames, so treat them like it. Use stable holders, keep them away from anything that can catch, and don't leave them burning unattended. Oil lamps provide longer, steadier light, but they come with fuel storage responsibilities and ventilation concerns. The smartest setup is layers. A couple of headlamps, a lantern, some candles, maybe an oil lamp if you know how to use it safely, and plenty of matches and lighters stored in waterproof containers, because a lamp without ignition is just a decoration. 10. A mechanical grain grinder if you're storing whole grains. If you're stocking wheat berries, corn, oats, or other whole grains, you need a way to turn them into usable food. Whole grains store longer than flour, but they're not automatically ready for cooking the way most people imagine. A manual grinder turns stored grain into flour or meal. That opens up basic foods that actually keep you going. Flatbread, pancakes, dumplings, porridge, thickened soups. In hard times, hot, familiar food is more than comfort. It's stability. Take care of it. Keep it dry. Brush it out after use. Store it so humidity isn't slowly eating it. Mechanical tools last a long time, but only if you respect the basics. 11. A solar charger and rechargeable batteries, stored like you mean it. Solar isn't magic, it's just steady, and steady is powerful when everything else is unpredictable. A foldable solar panel paired with rechargeable AA and AAA batteries can keep key items running. Radios, flashlights, headlamps. A small power bank can help too. The fragile point is the charging circuitry, so if you're thinking EMP, store the charge controller, cables, and power bank protected. Also, practice using it now. Figure out how long it takes to charge a set of batteries on a cloudy day, not just on the perfect sunny afternoon. Reality is what it is, and a good plan respects reality. 12. Two-way radios, with a plan and a little humility. When phones and internet aren't there, radios can keep you connected to people beyond shouting distance. That can mean coordination with family, receiving updates, or just maintaining a sense of connection when the world feels cut off. There are multiple options, and what matters is what you'll actually learn. Some radios are simpler but shorter range. Others are more capable but require licensing and practice. If you go the ham route, take the time to learn the basics in normal life. Know how to power it, how to communicate clearly, and how to listen more than you talk. Store radios protected if EMP is the concern, and store spare batteries separately to reduce corrosion. Print out local frequencies and simple radio procedures. In a real disruption, paper is a quiet superpower. Now zoom out with me for a second. The point of this list isn't to make you feel like the world is ending. It's the opposite. It's to make you less fragile. Clean water, safe heat, light, basic navigation, basic communication, and the ability to fix problems without begging a dead system for permission. If you build those capabilities in layers, you don't need to be fearless, you just need to be functional. And in a situation where a lot of people are guessing, being functional is a huge advantage. Prepping isn't about fear. It's about refusing to be helpless when the easy options vanish. And if that sounds serious, it should, because the consequences of being unprepared aren't theoretical when the systems you depend on stop answering.